What's going on, everyone? It's time to talk about another big family franchise I haven't actually talked about yet. And today I'm going to review the first film of the Harry Potter franchise, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, also as Americans call it, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So this was a huge film franchise that came out, released by Warner Brothers, um, November 16th, 2001, and it was written by Steve Cloves, produced by David Heyman, and directed by Chris Columbus, who would go on to do who has also done like Home Alone and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. He's would go on to do Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. He's also directed Miss Doubtfire and Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and also Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters, to name a few films that he's done. So he's quite the big repertoire of films that he's made. And this had a budget of $125 million, and it made over $1 billion upon its release. Definitely one of the biggest grossing film franchises so far, next to like Lord of the Rings and the 007 films. This is probably one of the highest grossing film franchises ever. So, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, this is the one that sets the groundwork for the Harry Potter franchise. Obviously, it's the first one, so we get introduced to Harry Potter, and he's living with his aunt and uncle who despise him and is jealous of his parents and stuff. And you're not really told why, and he slowly learns why and how why he's different and stuff. And basically, he learns that he is actually the son of a family of witches and yeah, all those type of sorcerers and stuff, and goes on and goes to the school of witchcraft and wizardry and learns how to become a wizard. It's quite, I'm pretty sure most people are familiar with this, so I don't really have to explain it. It was really cool revisiting this film because I haven't really watched this film since I think I've seen it twice, and it was released into theaters. And this is one of the rare major blockbuster films. I actually enjoy this franchise more than a lot of the other ones. Like, I hate the Hunger Games. I hate like all those type of films. So I was never about running out to see major films like this. And ever since I was younger, maybe because it has like a dark fantasy feel to it, that's something that, like, being a person who loves horror and sci-fi, that this sort of like makes me gravitate to. And revisiting it is very pretty, still holds up for the most part. Certain things do have its cheapier feel to it nowadays, like some of the CG's a little iffy, but overall the acting is all around still good. Even for the child stars at the time, Daniel Radcliffe, Hermione, and guy who played Ron, they're all still phenomenal actors. Even in this, looking back, being child stars and starting out, they were still really good at their roles and stuff. And obviously, you got like the guy who played Dumbledore. Yeah, he was a phenomenal actor. He died after the second one, though, and then even the replacement's a good one. But we'll get to those later on in the future when I talk about those films. But overall, I really do enjoy this film even now. It was good revisiting the Wizarding World. Each film, it shows you a lot of different weird, cool, magical things in each film, and this one really sets the bar because this is the first time you go through like Gringotts, and you get to the school, Hogwarts, and you really can feel immersed in the magic and stuff there. And I really enjoyed that in this film because like that's like the one thing that sets the tone. They did it so well in this that it continues to emulate in the other films when you go to different areas and stuff. And you definitely see a lot of cool, unique things, and seeing it from Harry's perspective and stuff, it was pretty cool and enjoyable. It's definitely it's a different tone than some of the sequels, go more into a even more fantasy route, where this one this one sort of like takes you from like someone who's in reality seeing it for the first time, and it's still a good spectacle even to witness again today. I really enjoyed this movie. A lot of people do. I never read the books because I don't really read books. But yeah, this film is definitely one of the better fantasy adventure films out there. And surprisingly, most of the sequels are pretty good too. I'll get into those in the future. But yeah, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is definitely one of the better blockbuster films I enjoy as much as most of everyone else out there. It's I don't really have anything bad to say till like the last few that came out, but yeah, for the most part, this is a really good film. There are certain parts of the story where they kind of like I could see in the future why they did it, but if you watch it as a standalone film, there's certain things that they leave out that they probably could have put in there that would have made the story more cohesive. But I know they explain it in the sequels and stuff more, and they kind of for the first one they kind of leave it as an open, ambiguous opening for you to fill in yourself until you get around to seeing that one, and yeah, it's but other than that, like some of the CG is not really up to date, but there's still a lot of cool effects in this, a lot of fun times, good humor, and I mean overall just a good story. And this is one of those rare blockbuster films that I actually enjoy, just like everyone else. So I'm gonna give Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone, depending on where you are, a 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, some of the characters probably could have used a little work, and there's some things that might be considered hokey nowadays, but for the time period when it came out and stuff, it was a big monumental thing, and it was so good going back and reliving that. So yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. There's a trailer link down below, like always. Also, my Instagram's always linked down below, where I post clips of films going to be in the future. On my story, I usually post the film, put the film title and a hashtag and the subject on the film and a hashtag so you're aware of it. Or you can also check out my Letterbox at Derek P Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the film. So follow me on one of those two to stay in the loop with this channel. Like this video, share it so more people are aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below. Let me know your thoughts. Also, let me know what your favorite Harry Potter film is. If you have one, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And if I should continue on reviewing the rest of the franchise. If you want to hear my opinions on that, comment that down below too. Or any films in general, as long as I can find them. So yeah, yeah, and make sure you subscribe because you never know what I'm going to talk about next. Hopefully we can find something weird, obscure, and odd to check out together, or so you can, just like this video, so you can hear my opinions on popular films just like this one. Yeah, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, so that'll do it for this one. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is a good film, and I'll probably do the sequels later on. Not right away though. I kind of have a different schedule in mind because the next film I'm going to be talking about is a film on Shudder that I want to check out, and it's Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched: A History of Folk Horror. So I'll be diving into that documentary in the next video. So make sure you subscribe so you could hear my opinions on that. And maybe if you're more of a horror fan, this one documentary might have some good insight. But we'll see after I check that one out. So, but that's it for this one. So hopefully all those muggles out there don't drive you crazy with all this virus stuff that's going around. I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So make sure you subscribe, and I guess I'll see you all in the next one, which will hopefully have some good insight on some more films. So till then, cheers.